Welcome back to Grammar Grade 12. This is Unit 4, Lesson 26, and we're stepping into clauses that do real work inside a sentence. Today's topic is the adjective clause. You already know an adjective, a word that describes a noun. Well, a whole group of words can do that same job, and when it does, we call it an adjective clause. Learn how it attaches, and you'll write longer, richer sentences with total control. Let's dig in. Let's start with the idea itself. An adjective clause is a subordinate clause, a group of words with its own subject and verb that can't stand alone, and its whole purpose is to modify a noun or a pronoun. Look at this. I kept the gift that I had wrapped. The part that I had wrapped is the adjective clause, and it's describing the noun gift. Which gift? The one I had wrapped. So even though it's a full clause, its job is simple. It does exactly what a single adjective does. It tells us more about a noun. Here's the part that keeps your meaning clear. An adjective clause comes right after the noun it modifies. Watch how this sentence lines up. The pianist who lived next door gave lessons. The clause who lived next door sits immediately after pianist, and it points straight back to it. Which pianist? The one who lived next door. That closeness is not optional. If you slide the clause away from its noun, it will start describing whatever word it happens to land beside. So the rule is simple. Park the adjective clause right next to the noun it belongs to. So how does an adjective clause begin? Almost always with a relative pronoun, and there are only 5 to remember. Who, whom, whose, which, and that. We use who, whom, and whose for people, which for things, and that for either one. Now and then a clause opens instead with a relative adverb, the word where for a place, or when for a time, as in the town where I grew up, or the year when we met. Whatever the opener, it does the same thing. It links the clause back to the noun and tells us the clause is describing it. Now for the question everyone struggles with, the commas. It comes down to one thing. Does the clause tell you which one? Look at this. The runner who trained hardest won. The clause who trained hardest is doing critical work. It tells us which runner won. Take it out and you're left with the runner won, and we've lost the whole point. Because the sentence truly needs that clause, it is essential, and an essential clause takes no commas at all. The other kind is the non-essential clause, and it works the opposite way. A non-essential clause adds interesting detail, but the sentence already makes complete sense without it. Take this. My aunt, who lives in Maine, paints. We already know which aunt we mean. She's my aunt. So who lives in Maine is just a bonus fact. Lift it right out, and my aunt paints still stands perfectly. Because that clause is extra, we set it off with commas, one before it and one after, to show the reader it could be gently removed. Non-essential means extra, and extra earns its commas. Here's a single test that decides the commas every time. Cover the clause with your thumb, lift it right out, and read what's left. If you still know exactly which noun you're talking about, the clause was only extra. It's non-essential, so you add the commas. But if the sentence suddenly loses track of which one, or stops making sense, then the clause was doing real work. It's essential, so you leave the commas off. One clean move, lift it out. Does the meaning survive? If yes, commas. If no, none. That test alone will carry you through nearly every sentence you write. Let's practice. In this first set, I'll give you a sentence, and your job is to find the adjective clause and name the noun it modifies. Pause the video and decide before I reveal each answer. The scientist who discovered the comet spoke at our school. Find the clause that opens with a relative pronoun. That's who discovered the comet. Now, which noun does it describe? It tells us which scientist we mean, the one who discovered the comet. So the adjective clause is who discovered the comet, and it modifies the noun scientist. We finally visited the coast where my parents had married. This one opens with the relative adverb where, so the clause is where my parents had married. What noun is it pinned to? The coast. It tells us which coast we visited. So the adjective clause is where my parents had married, and it modifies the noun coast. The novel that she recommended kept me up all night. Look for the relative pronoun. There's that, opening the clause that she recommended. Which noun does it describe? The novel. It tells us which novel kept me up. So the adjective clause is that she recommended, and it modifies the noun novel. Now for the commas. In this second set, decide whether each adjective clause is essential or non-essential. Use the lifted out test. Pull the clause and see if you still know which one. Pause and choose before I answer. Students who finish early may leave the room. Try the lifted out test. Remove who finish early, and you are left with students may leave the room, which now means all students. We've lost the point. Because the clause tells us which students, it's essential, and essential clauses take no commas. Mount Rainier, which towers over the city, drew crowds of hikers. Lift out which towers over the city, and we still know exactly which mountain. It's Mount Rainier, named right there. The clause is just extra detail, so it's non-essential, and non-essential clauses are set off with commas. The email that you sent yesterday never reached me. Take out that you sent yesterday, and you get the email never reached me. But which email? We've lost track. Since the clause is needed to identify the email, it's essential, so we use no commas. And notice the clue. Clauses that begin with that are almost always essential. Let's gather it all up. First, an adjective clause is a subordinate clause that modifies a noun or a pronoun, and it sits right after the word it describes. Second, it usually opens with a relative pronoun, who, whom, whose, which, or that, and sometimes with where or when. And third, the comma question. If the clause tells you which one, it's essential and takes no commas. If it only adds extra information, it's non-essential and gets set off with commas. And the lifted out test settles it every time. That's the adjective clause. In our next lesson, lesson 27, we'll look at its cousin, the adverb clause. I'll see you there.